800 US dollars. Now, how we can produce the results comparable to the Western countries with this sort of limited resources? It's very difficult. And also they said they stayed in the hospital for 2 weeks and they studied all our finance and also to talk to all the employees and patients. Finally, they said, Innova possesses advanced equipment, capabilities, and skilled doctors, and sufficient patient base, and history of positive patient outcome. And we doctors, we have skilled doctors, but the qualities generally indicative of successful the business venture. But because of this, the short sight of the government programs and also misuse of these facilities could also financially impacted our the financial viabilities. So they suggested we should go for donations and also the investors. But the investors may not be, I think, angel investors, you may be, you better suited for the angel investors. So we approached so many angel investors. They asked us so much of data, and finally they went through that. They came and, your program is very good, and you did things. So how much you want? Sir, I want like $1 million for the investment. No, we are looking for $20 million. Okay. Then another investors came. Your program is good. Then I thought, maybe we should go for the expansion. But and I asked for 1 million, maybe he feels small. Then I asked, 4 million. No, we want to give only small amount, like 50 million, like $50,000 or something like that. So the things are not successful. People are appreciative of it, but no one wants to take that challenge into their hands and the progress and help these children. Then I asked one of my friends, so why I'm failing this, getting investor to do this sort of social cause? Then they said social impact quotient. What is the social impact quotient? Total. See, if you spend the $1 million for high, cataract operations, you can operate 50,000 patients. 50,000 patients. That means benefit is so huge. But if I give $1 million, you can operate only 200 children. See, 50,000 and 200 children, the social impact quotient is very less in your specialty. I really shocked. But where you are operating 1-month-old child, giving 100 years of life, and a 70-year-old man, you are operating cataract, another 10, 20 years you will live. But I'm not comparing and not to donate for the eye operation or something else. But someone has to understand this cause also. That's what my appeal. If you look at that, what is the current scenario in India? See that very few centers we have, like Hyderabad, Chennai, Trivandrum, and Bangalore, and Mumbai, and Delhi. So the central part and the eastern part, there is an absolutely huge gap. There is no pediatric cardiac services available. And so if you, less than 10% of the children are getting treatment. If you calculate all this small and big, you add together. What is the American College of Cardiology recommendation is that one pediatric cardiac center should be there in every 5 million population. That means India needs at least 200 centers. But hardly we have 10 centers in India. There is a huge gap and a huge potential, and the lakhs of children are waiting for this sort of the expansion where they can see the light of the day and live longer and could be useful citizens. So what is the managerial innovation we have? Why I put the Innova? Because I have innovated a lot of new techniques in pediatric cardiac surgery. I thought, okay, I have done so much in science, but I think, can I do it some innovation in social impact to get that more and more children can be operated. That is what made me to do Innova Children's Heart Hospital, nothing with the other things. So what I thought, high volume, high quality, and cost effectiveness without compromising the safety. And we established more centers and train more people because, as I told you, doctors also is very less in this specialty. Indigenization medical equipment reduce the cost of the treatment and also subsidize the medical treatment for the poor patients and financially viable and make it cheaper to reach the masses. So in conclusion, dear friends, So most of the children's heart diseases are treatable, and if you treat them, they can lead a normal life. The needs awareness in the society and as well as medical professionals. It is a young specialty and require many centers, not only India and other developing countries. It would be a good business model with a social cause. And this, hello, there is this gentleman. Yeah, this you play this. Just I will say a small video when I operated a small chair, the Rahul. Yeah, yeah. And the child has a transposition. I operated at the age of 15 days, and the parents are so grateful to me because 10 years of their marriage with assisted pregnancy, they got the child. Unfortunately, the child had congenital heart defect. I operated at the age of 15 days. They flown from Nagpur to Hyderabad. At the age of 2 days, I stabilized and operated. And the child, how he is growing and how active he is, that is what satisfaction, gratification we get. I appeal to these like-minded people to join hands with me to establish more and more centers to treat this sort of unfortunate children. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Dr. Murthy, for your very informative session on pediatric cardiac surgery. You actually have made a very complex topic like pediatric cardiac surgery appear to be very simple, because it not only reflects your expertise, but also your skills in dealing with such a complex topic. It would not be exaggerated for us to say that you are not only giving a new lease of life to the cardiac patients because of the advanced technology as well as your dedication, but you are also creating happy families across the country, considering the immense joyous feeling of their parents to see their children back to normal. As a token of appreciation to Dr. Murthy, I would request Mr. Satya Brahma to please come on stage. Dr. Murthy. Thank you. Thank you.
Understand what is the real problem, and the pharmacy industry and medical professionals, we are like whipping boys for their problem. We are the cause, and that's wrong. They ask us to go to villages where we want to go to villages, and nothing will be available, and they want to create a good molecules, and they don't give the freedom and put a lot of restrictions and all those things. But we really
We are indeed honored actually, and we are very proud that you are with us today. And I can tell you that I partner with you, not only in raising funds for Innova Health Foundation, but also to make sure that all the children who come to you do not go undressed actually. And they would be addressed properly, and I can assure you that one.
Right.
People like you and Dr. Mohan who are there, my full heartfelt admiration goes to you, and this is our tribute to you actually. We'll be there to support you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now move to the next session, which is the theme address, Make in India, Healthcare Reforms, Insurance, Innovations, Investments, and Infrastructure. I would now request Mr. Dara Patel, Secretary General, Indian Drug Manufacturers Association, to please come forward for his session, the theme address, Make in India, healthcare reforms, insurance, innovations, investments, and infrastructure. Secretary General of the Indian Drug Manufacturers Association, IDMA, an apex body of the pharmaceutical and bulk drug manufacturers. He provides prompt response to members' queries and problems as his top priorities, organizes industry-specific seminars, training programs, and workshops, makes presentations for chairing technical sessions at various industry events, executes efficient pricing-related issues like EXIM policy, regulatory and technical affairs. The achievements of Mr. Dara Patel include a speaker at ProPac Asia 2010 in Bangkok in June 2010. He was invited by Shanghai Share Business Consulting Company to make a presentation on generics boom in Chindia in Shanghai. He was invited by Oplan Corporation to make a presentation on pharma manufacturing outsourcing partnership strategies in India in Shanghai. And his professional achievements have been mentioned in the international edition of Who's Who of the Asian Pacific Rim. Over to Mr. Dara Patel.
Thank you very much, Satya Brahma and the organizers for giving me an opportunity to share my thoughts with you. I bring greetings to all of you from the Indian Drug Manufacturers Association. We are a apex body, as you just heard, of pharmaceutical and bulk drug manufacturers in the country. We are located in Mumbai, which is the headquarters to almost 80% of the pharmaceutical industry. We are 53 years old, serving the pharmaceutical industry, regarded as the voice of the national sector. We have 7 state boards, 800 members, 20 subcommittees headed by experts who handle various issues. We have several publications. We are the only body maybe in the world to come out with a industry-specific weekly publication. Come what may, every week the IDMA publication comes out. We have several other publications. We have several training programs. The Pharmaceutical Analyst Convention is our flagship event. So let's understand the Indian pharma industry first before we go to Make in India. And we'll realize that the Indian pharma industry has come a long way on its own steam with very minimal government support. So you can imagine once we start getting the required government support with the new government in today under Mr. Narendra Modi, the pharma industry can go places. A knowledge-based industry, over 10,000 manufacturing units, having over 60,000 formulations, and almost 10 to 200 brands in every molecule. So you can imagine how big the pie is and the amount of competition that is there. Now, as compared to this, if you see the US, they just have 2,500 manufacturing units. So you can imagine if we had that type of a scale, our operations would have been even far better than what we are today. But our regulator also now is tightening its own belts. Now, a lot is being said about the prices of medicines in India. But if you see the total healthcare cost, only 15% goes for medicines. Rest is all hospitals, doctors, consultation, pathology. But those prices are not controlled or criticized. About 90% of India's pharmaceutical market is made up of branded generics. The value of the pharmaceutical market is almost 32 billion US dollars. That's more than 120,000 crores. Globally, we rank 4th as far as volume is concerned. But as far as value is concerned, we are number 12, and that's mainly because of our competitive prices. Every third tablet consumed globally is made in India. And every third child who is vaccinated by vaccine made in India. So you can imagine the reach that we have.